flesh staring faceless, wearing a crown of bruises made by things I am not. A noose knotted with past regrets. So I call myself loose from my own expectations. With pride I wear that neckline scar. It's putting out anger against a light like fear. Sitting on my tongue, I keep catching my reflection in mirror faces. Ones that shine really real like them is not their own. But I keep my flame hidden, holding impressed between worry and the oil and the phone. My feet hidden in the present, gracefully waiting a future untold. I'm aching with quiet rhythm, searching for all the things that I am not. Let's go! Just a lot for going back me. Dismantle me. Until I'm wrong. I ain't no bigger, no point of me. No! Am I safe or eternal nightmare? Myself will never be my name. Let's go!
Ever since I started working, every single day of my life has been worse than the day before it. So that means that every single day that you see me, that's on the worst day of my life.
Attention to detail.
look at myself and I wonder, why do I feel so alone? Thank you. This band is built on two things. Number one, honesty. It always has been and it always will be. But number two is relevance. When I wrote these songs, I was at a specific point in my life where I was fed up with the people around me and I was fed up with myself. And as I feel like the relevance of these songs starts to fade, I start searching. Because without a reason to yell, this means nothing. And as I search for that relevance, I find it in the faces of the people I thought were my friends, the people that I thought loved me. Every now and then, I sit down and I like to take people out to dinner. I like to sit down and poke and prod, and I like to get an idea of where I'm at in their life. And the other day, I sat down for one of those dinners, and the first question that came out of that person's mouth was, when do you think you're gonna be done? When do you think you're gonna grow up? We're tired of you not being here. We're tired of feeling like you're not around, and that everybody around you is changing, and you stayed the same. And just like that, the relevance that I'd been searching for came rushing back. And I was reminded that for so long, I have done everything to be the person that I want to be. But more importantly, I wanted to be somebody that my family and my friends could look up to. And in that moment, I realized that just like always, that's not possible. It seems like every time I start thinking about this, I feel like a moth to a flame. Because no matter how many times I go running back, searching for acceptance, I get burned. So once again, I'm reminded, this is not for them. It will never be for them. It will always be for me, and it will always be for you. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't be you. That's not how it works. This song's called Judgment.
You
everybody. As I talk about relevance, and I talk about the importance that has in this band, I'm reminded of a time last year when instead of thinking of myself, I was thinking about the other people around me. You see, growing up, and to this day, my social anxiety gets the best of me. And people always say, oh, you seem fine in groups though. You're so talkative. It's not the talking part that gets to me. It's the thinking part. I feel like everywhere I go, no matter if they are or they aren't, people are judging me. Every time somebody walks out of a tent or a building, I think about how it must have been something I said. It must have been something I did. And now that person hates me. While that obviously seems ridiculous, it's always in the back of my mind. And last year, after sitting down and having one of those conversations with somebody, I decided instead of being me, instead of doing the things that I thought were right, I was giving up and I was gonna quit, because that was the only way that I could please anybody except myself. We just finished a new record in March, and I firmly believe that this is one of the most important songs on that entire record. It doesn't matter what people think. And I know you've heard that before, and you're gonna hear it again. But if you give up on things because of what other people think, that's how the people outside these gates win. Don't let them win. And remember, you only have yourself, because everyone else will let you down. This song's called Indecision. Everyone will let you down. Wishing was gone, wishing away, wishing my life ends and my life again. I'm wishing will mend to tell over me. Running in circles in the right place. But sometimes it is again. We go to break the speak, I don't want it. In the back of me, fucking speak, rip it up. Make the point my skill. I can do this on my own. I hate the places I will without you. Been stuck in the so quick to let go of the things I know. Don't come to run more for you. Look at that, I'm like the best. Never no plan. Don't want to done, the land like that.
So we've been playing this fest for a few years now. And every year, it seems to get better and better. And one thing I notice every year, that there's a fostering of a community here. Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause. And inside that community, I look around and I see people that I love with every ounce of my being. I see people that I would take a bullet for in a heartbeat. Some of these people, I don't even know your names, and I still feel that way. But it wasn't always like that. Sometimes when your family lets you down, it's time to look in other places for the love that you deserve. And in the case of the man who wants to call himself my big brother, I wrote this song, and that's how I feel.
You're not my brother! That will never change! That's what you think. We will never be the same, cause I'm the dead body blood, boiling in my veins. The feeling inside you, you can walk yourself, walk yourself. I'll never be gone, it's gone, you just keep moving, you better be loud. For 5 years now, I've written songs about waiting for death. I've written songs about running from death. I've written songs about how I just wanted to die and that nothing else mattered. 3 years ago, I received a wake-up call when Brant Simon put a bullet in his head. And for the first time in my life, I understood what mental illness was. For the first time in my life, I felt compelled to talk about something that mattered. Two weeks ago, June 15th, 2016, a 29-year-old man named Blaine Klingenberg was riding up Michigan Avenue when a bus struck him, sucked him under, and killed him immediately.
depressed. As a matter of fact, Blaine was the only person I knew who had a smile on his face every single day. And on June 15th, 2016, Blaine Klingenberg wanted to go to the beach. And 500 yards from that beach, he was struck by a bus and he was killed. Not 30 minutes before that, Blaine had texted me. And my response was, of course. Why would I not go to the beach? I love you. I'll see you there. Blaine wasn't depressed. He didn't die by his own hand. The reason I'm talking about it is because 2 weeks ago, for the first time in my almost 24 years of existing, I faced death. For the first time in 24 years, I sat down and I read that article. And every day since then, I have read that article. Because I finally understand the problem. And the problem is for 5 years, I've been talking about running. And it made me think, if I'm gonna change anything, if this is gonna mean anything, not only am I gonna talk about running and wait, but I'm also gonna be honest. I'm gonna talk about facing. Because there are people in this tent who have faced death, who have sat on the edge of their bed and waited to take their own life. People in this room who have stood on a platform and thought about walking in front of a train. Those people are not cowards, despite what the people outside will tell you. Those people have faced death, and they've lived to talk about it. So until we do the same, we are in no position to call those people cowards. But instead, we are in a position to lift them up, tell them we love them, and make sure that with every breath we have, they never forget it. Because you can run from death. You can run as fast as you can. But it will catch up. And you will not like when it rears its ugly head. When I talk about these things, I always start to shake because I'm nervous. But when I talk about these things, I feel an immense power every time. It doesn't matter if it's 10 people or 100 or 1,000. Because I feel like in tents like these, in rooms like these, in places like these, we can change the world. And I mean that. And I will die defending that idea. Just don't forget, you can't run. It's time to start talking about it. Because when you talk about it, there's a trembling in the earth. And you are a force of change.
I'm sick and tired of Harry. I'm sick and tired of having to eke my way through life. Sick and tired of being a nobody. Most of all, I'm sick and tired of having nobody.
Audiofeed! This is Ghosted! This That's all you people stupid for! And with my shot, you are going to let the spirit free. Leave the thing of the essence. This one have I get. Take it down to the sun. Don't you feel that it's good? We're gonna see it.
And that's what I'm talking about. When I talk about what it means when the earth shakes, I will never stop doing this. Not until people change their mind. And not until people stop calling me a fucking coward. This is 333.
Let's go! We'll get you! Let's take it back! We'll fight back! We'll take you! Let's take it back! We'll fight back! We'll take you! Let's take it back! We'll fight back!
Everything goes quiet, and I'll feel a little bit more normal than I did before. Thank you, Audiofeed. Thank you so much.